Welcome, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you're coming from. My name is Eleni Sommerschield. I am the COO of Wise Agent and your host today of Becoming a Wise Agent podcast. Welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about, an overview of 2023 and what's to come for Wise Agent. I'm excited about this. I've got Brandon Wise, our CEO and founder, here with us. So welcome, Brandon.
Thank you. Excited to be on
Yes.
your podcast, Eleni.
I know. And this is our third or fourth year doing this. I think it's third year. We started this in 2020. So this is our third year doing the podcast and our end of year wrap up. I think it's nice to just kind of go back and see everything that we've done in the past year, and then talk a little bit to our audience about what's to come in 2024. What should you be expecting? And then give you a little insight on what we're going to be working on for you guys. So I'm excited about this conversation. I always look forward to this because it really will tell you a lot about how we make decisions here. At the center of every decision that we make, it's you guys, right? It's our agents, it's our members. And, and we were talking a little while back here before we went live on Facebook of where everyone is from. And, it's all about the travel that we do is all to really get right in front of you and hear your problems firsthand, and then come back and work on those problems to help solve them for you. So
yeah, that gets us excited, solving problems.
Yeah.
That's what we love doing. I think looking back at this year for all of us, it's been a roller coaster, a lot of big accomplishments and a lot of challenges everyone in this industry has gone through, including us as tech companies.
Yeah.
And through it all, we've been in touch with our members the whole time and hearing a lot of the great success stories and helping them to get through some of the challenges they've had. And we love doing this and being part of this industry with you all. So
yeah, definitely. Earlier in the year, I had conversations with agents that were just kind of like, I don't know where 2023 is going to take me here. And, they were just, and maybe a lot of you had been feeling this and maybe still feel this, where it's like, I don't know where my next transaction is coming from. I don't know, what's going to happen. And, where's the economy going to go? What's happening with the housing and everything else market. And I know from several conversations I've had with a lot of agents and hearing some of their success stories where they were like, I'm not sure what's going to happen next. And, seeing their successes and seeing, all the closings that they're doing, the transactions and the relationships that they continue to build, that should hopefully give everyone a little bit of hope. And it does take a little bit of work, but that work up front is so worth it, because then as you continually grow and meet new people, you have a whole system set up where it really just becomes something that you don't have to think about, because you've set everything up in the beginning of things with your CRM to then meet people and put them through a whole entire funnel of building the relationship and getting to that transaction table eventually. So I think that's
and the technology, it can be a challenge for all of us. Embracing new tech. This last year was huge with new things like AI is the biggest for all of us that we've had to figure out how to embrace and take advantage of and make work for us. And I think that's a big thing, is just to make sure that you're all really embracing the technology and just understand there's going to be a little challenge with most technologies, including Wise Agent. Some people have a challenge just getting started and getting going, but it's that delayed gratification. If you put the little time in up front to learn it and figure it all out, man, it saves you so much time where you can focus on doing what you do best, which is building the relationships and closing deals. So putting the time.
Yeah. And I think that's why, I know. And that's the reason why we've given you all the ability to have a one-on-one getting started session with someone from our team. We don't want you guys struggling and seeing like, oh, how do I set this all up? And how is this going to work? And, there's no need for that, because you get that within Wise Agent. You get that getting started session where you can talk to someone from our team to help you get all your contacts in and how should you organize them. So you get basically someone that will help you in your business, really, help you kind of fine tune it and figure out the processes. So you're not alone in any of this. We will help guide you through it. Our team is very proficient in helping people do that. So take advantage of that, because that is something, that a lot of people that have taken advantage of it, they've seen so much success for it because of that whole setup.
A lot of people say, I see comments even saying it's hard work. It's really hard to get started. It's really not hard. If you've ever built a house or done any roofing, that's hard work. This is just challenging. You've just got to sit down and do it. But it's something that you can all figure out. It might be a challenge if you're technology challenged, but that's what we're here for. Like Eleni said, just you take advantage of our support, and we'll just walk you through. You don't have to. The key is don't ever try to learn the whole thing all at once. Just learn it piece by piece as you need it, and take advantage of the resources available, which is our support team and our support, YouTube channels and all the step-by-steps that we have to help get you through those little challenging pieces so that you can take advantage of the rewards of using the automation and saving you so much time on the back end.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And at the heart of everything we do, help save you time and make more money. That's the heart of everything. So really getting that set up, getting everything in your account set up. And I know I'd met with a broker, Lana, out of Chicago, and she's like, gosh, I do all these transactions, and we even did a webinar together talking about her transaction checklist, going from an Excel spreadsheet, where she and her transaction coordinator and partner were going through and like trying to update an Excel spreadsheet for all their transactions, and then a different spreadsheet for like their clients and where that relationship is going, and are they going to buy, are they going to sell, are they going to do this, that, or the other, and then migrating that into Wise Agent and being successful in the migration process with our help, of course, because there's some things that, you kind of need to translate that from an Excel to a CRM. There needs to be some kind of translation. It's not going to be really cut and dry. And so that's what our team is trained on doing. And so I think about Lana when I think about, some success stories, and I think of Michael Demas and his team out in Florida, and how his whole brokerage is using Wise Agent, and they're just growing and, succeeding in recruiting and the number of transactions that they're doing. It's fantastic to hear those. And when I go out, on the road and travel, and I get, all these hugs and all these stories that I hear, success stories that I hear from people, I love hearing that because then it really energizes us and reinvigorates us to come back and make it better and more complete for you guys.
Yeah, and another thing is these people we're talking about, Shane Anderson, I saw he's on here. Hey, Shane, you can reach out to Shane Anderson anytime you want and ask questions. If you don't about how is he taking advantage of this, or how is Lana using Wise Agent, and they're all willing, even if they're with different companies, these guys are willing to share their knowledge and their wisdom and help you. So you join our Facebook community if you're not on there, and ask questions if you want to hear some different perspectives of how people in the field, brokers and agents, are currently using it to run their business successfully with, as well as another big thing.
Yeah. But I think so what this webinar is going to be about today is looking back at some of the features and some of the things that we've completed and accomplished for you all this year. And it was a huge list where I'm like, Brandon, we have 60 minutes. We can't talk about all these things. I'm like, we got to pare this down a little bit. So, so we've highlighted a few of them, but I do want to share my screen because I think it's important to show you guys where you would be able to find all of the updates that you'll, on Wise Agent. You don't have to wait for these end of year wrap ups and whatnot to see some of the updates that we have for you. So right down here on the bottom left-hand side of my screen, you can see this little owl with the little glasses. And if you click on this is where you're going to see all these different updates, and it'll tell you dates and whatnot. And there will be links to blogs and videos and whatnot. So you can click on the blog, you can click on the video, and it'll, kind of tell you and walk you through what that update was. So that's a really important feature. I love this little, we call him Owly. I love the little owl here, to just give you kind of that heads up on what's happening and you know, where what's been updated within Wise Agent. So, and before we jump too far into that, I know in preparation for this webinar today, we'd asked you all to, when you registered, to give us an understanding of what you wanted to hear and see on this podcast. And the number one thing that kept coming up over and over again was 30% of you had said that you wanted to hear more about organization, which I was shocked at that, Brandon. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was going to be something else. The one that I was thinking of came in second place at 24%, which was leads.
Sure.
So
That's
I
what I
thought that
heard.
was going to be number one, was going to be, let's talk about leads. And this was going to be all about, you know, how do I get better leads? How do I get more leads? And, but
Yeah,
organization.
but I guess being organized, it really makes sense, and you're at the right place, because that's what a CRM, that's what Wise Agent, the whole platform is all about, is organizing your business and getting it running on systems. And it's really all about getting each piece of it, from streamlining your marketing to how are you going to deal with every lead. And so we're going to show you a few things that we've added in, even to make it easier to put each piece into a system as you go through the transaction, post-transaction, you know, as soon as you get a lead. But if you have a system for every single thing you do, and you get that organized in one platform, man, it just changes your whole business, reduces the stress, and gives you so much back if you put the time into organizing it. And that's really what Wise Agent is. So it does make sense that that's number one. And good to see they're on the same page here, actually.
Yeah. No, yeah, I was happy to see it. I just was surprised by it. And then there was a
Yeah.
three-way tie on follow-up, setting up the CRM, and more automation. Talking about automation, which was, again, I'm like, perfect. This is all aligns. Like CRM, for some of you that are not familiar with that acronym and what it stands for, I guess I should have said this in the very beginning, is contact relationship management. So it's, you know, having that, it's managing your relationships and, you know, having interactions and building relationships with people. So the following up is like mission critical. I mean, you should be talking to people every single day.
The
So
key word is the relationship in that
yeah,
CRM, and that's really what all these people on the call, that there's a lot of coaches on here even will tell you, this business is really all about building relationships. It's not about who can do the best MLS searches and and open those doors. It's really about building those relationships, and anyone that's been successful will back that up and say, yeah, that's really what you need to be focused on. But you can't focus on that when you're not organized. And so we've got to get your business organized and automated as much as you can, so you can focus on building the real relationships.
yeah. I love it. And Lawanda agrees with you. It's not about selling houses. It's about it's a relationship business. You know, once you build the relationships, like she says here, like the selling part, that will happen. So that really is that's really is the truth about that. So love it that you guys are on the same page with us. I was shocked at this, that there was only 5% of the people that had registered for this had wanted to hear more about video. I was kind of shocked at that. I thought video would be a lot higher. I know it's not always comfortable being on video, as someone that does video quite a bit. It's not always the most comfortable thing to be in front of an audience and you're not really sure who's on, and you're kind of talking out to the ether and you're like, I don't know, is anyone listening? But I think video still works because it does help, you know, kind of get your messaging out there. I mean, we've talked about this quite a bit on videos. People can see your face and hear your voice and hear the inflection of your tone and everything else, your smile. And so then your personality comes through in video, or at least it should. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I was shocked at
I think it's been pounded into us so much, you know, that, hey, we should all be using it. But and it's probably really similar to the same stats we're seeing coming out of people that are following up with leads, even though over and over and over again, it's all about speed to lead. And everyone on this call and everyone in the industry now knows you've got to follow up. You got to do it more than once. There's got to be a system behind it.
yeah.
But yet, what was the percentage that we
It's
just
like
were reading?
around 80% of
It was
leads,
just the
like we,
same,
yeah,
5 years ago,
yeah,
it hadn't moved at all. Like 85% of people don't follow up, or leads are not getting followed up with at all, or
yeah.
only once, and so same thing with the video. I think we know we need to do it now. So now we've put a lot of ways to do it easier in our system, and we're going to go over a few of those right now, I think, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so the first one I wanted to go over is because it was one of the first things that we released in 2023, and it was one of the last things we updated just this week, actually, which is our our AI writing assistant. So I'm going to share my screen here one more time. So if you guys weren't aware, we have, our AI writing assistant that is powered by ChatGPT 4. So that was just updated earlier this week. And so now you can prompt it. It is also been preset to have a tone of a real estate and a real estate marketer's perspective. So if you ask it to, write a bio for yourself, I know a lot of times people are using this for listings, and you can absolutely use it for listing descriptions on a specific property. But it is now a little bit more centric to the language it's been programmed in is for real estate and real estate marketing professionals. So that is something that's going to enhance kind of your prompts for you. So then it gets a better understanding of what you're asking.
And it's you can use it for your like your drip campaigns, or you can say, hey, write me 4 text messages to send out to everyone that stopped by my open house today,
Yeah.
and it'll know that you're a realtor, and it'll give you the 4 text messages that and then you can take those and just edit them a little bit, and use them from now on every time you have an open house, or you can mix them in with 4 emails, so that after they leave that open house, you're hitting them with email and text. So this AI writing assistant, I saw that she did go a little fast on how she got here, but basically you just go to the marketing tab on the left, and it's under marketing. You would click on the content
The content library. Yeah.
content library.
Yeah.
There you go. I was
I
losing the
know.
word library. And then that's where you'll find the AI writing assistant under both email and text. And it just really makes it easy. When you could go straight over to ChatGPT and use it. And when they're down, ours is still up because we have this API integration. But the cool thing about this, sometimes it takes a few seconds to generate, but once it does, you're able to save whatever it generates. Here it is. Now this should tell them what you're going to do here. How
Yeah.
you
So once it comes in here, you just literally, you click on the text that it's written for you. And now you can come in here and you can, read through what it says, add to it, edit what it currently says, remove things, do with it what you want. And then most importantly, you can save this. So you can save this in your content library saying, this is like my open house, emails. So I can put this in here, and now I can just save this, and now that will be saved where I can use it in my marketing in like a drip campaign or in an email, like a one-off email or whatever it is that I feel like is appropriate. So that's how that is used, where now you don't have to copy and paste it and put it over here, and put it within your CRM to do any of that. All that copy and paste and saving is kind of done for you.
And that content library, you guys, that's where all of your content will be organized and live now. So regardless of if this is marketing letters, emails, text messages, whatever it is that your content that you've used in the past or that you want to use in the future, you can kind of organize it all here, and always go back to your content library to find that content and use it throughout the program, or whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah.
It's another way to help that organization.
Yeah. And with the latest update to ChatGPT 4, now this is updated through data of January of 2022. So it's been, it's got the most recent update. And as OpenAI releases more of their endpoints and their data for us to be more up to date, then we'll be, progressing in that as well. So that's been a huge one. I think this has been a great one. If you guys haven't written your bio, I think this is a great tool to help you write the bio. I know I've struggled with that in the past where it's like, ooh, what do I want to say? And, especially writing about yourself can be kind of difficult. Use this tool and then edit, of course, so you can definitely do that. And then with this, you can also add more prompts to it. So now I can go back to this and say, oh, include that the open house was in Chicago, Illinois, whatever. So I can include other things. So I can add to this. So I can include other things to this email. So now it can it's still not conversational, but it'll add more to the content that you've generated originally. And so when that does, it'll just add this in here and say, other things about whatever address or neighborhood or whatever it is. So you can see now it says whatever it wrote about Chicago. Okay, so that was one thing. The next update that we had talked about, I thought was a huge, this has been a widely requested feature that people were wanting us to update, and that would be our email sending. So you are now able to send up to 2,500 emails a day, right? That's something that you've always had the ability to do, but now you can send that with like a single click. So previously, gosh, I don't even remember how it was previously. I think it was like 100 or 200 emails per page, and you had to go to page by page to send it. And so now we've made it really easy where you can say, write in your subject line, write in everything, and now just select your audience and say, I want to send this to everybody in my buyers category or whatever, my sellers or my VIPs or whatever it is that you want to do. And you can have this going out to 2,500 people. And then once that goes out, it'll go out in batches for you. And so if you even select 2,600, the 2,500 will go out that first day that you've set it for. You can schedule it to go in whatever day that you want. And then that other 100 will go out the very next day. So, and then we've, of course, made it easier for you to see some analytics on the emails that you're sending out. So this is a demo account, so we don't always send out too many from in here, but now I can see, I sent one email, it was delivered, somebody opened it, I can see nobody clicked on that link, but now I can see how many clicks that I got on the links that I've sent out. So that a little bit more analytics for you in order for you to see how your emails are doing for you. What are they doing for your business?
We're always doing updates on email and jumping through a lot of hoops on the back end for all the email regulations that they're putting on us. So just know that there's a lot going on in the back end to make sure that we can deliver your emails as good as possible. And we'll just keep on making that better and better as well.
Yeah. So Julie's saying we don't have to click through page by page to send 300 plus emails anymore. Absolutely not, Julie. So now if you have 300 people in a particular, if you have them spread out in a couple of different groups, you can select those groups and send it out with a single click. So we made it really simple, simplified for you. So that was one thing that we wanted to make sure and ensure that it was just easier. You weren't, wasting time on sending out emails. So, and I'm sure Katerina.
Thank you for that suggestion, Julie.
Yeah.
And just so you guys know, almost everything you're seeing today has come to us through your suggestions. So as you're coming up with these ideas, or you're having problems that you need an innovative solution for, that's what we do. Is we'll listen to your issues, and we continue to just create new features and tools and refine the ones we have to make it better and better for you based on your suggestions. So keep that relationship open with us and keep letting us know we're listening.
Absolutely. And Katerina, if you can post the blog for Julie on where and on the whole email thing and all of the new updates on emails, because you can now schedule emails to go out as well. So that's another big thing. So if you wanted to send out something for, the new year, saying Happy New Year to a bunch of people, but you really didn't want to sit there on New Year's Day and compose that email and press the send button and all that stuff, now you can set it up to send it out on that day. So you can set it up days, weeks, months in advance and be able to schedule that to go out. So that's a huge update that I see. The other one kind of, on the same track of like communicating out to your clients and to your database, one of the updates that we had, and this was kind of a little bit of a pain point, sometimes we have pain points here as well, not just you guys out there selling real estate, but one of our pain points this year had been kind of what we were all faced as marketers, which was a release that was done earlier this year from the federal government in the United States, saying that we had to register anyone that was sending out text messages or doing any kind of text marketing had to be registered. And so that process is called A2P 10DLC. Camilla and I had done a webinar a few months ago about this, kind of diving deep into that whole entire process. So we still have the texting capabilities. We still give that option to you. I know some marketing platforms have taken that aspect away from their platform because it's a few hoops that you have to jump through. But we still have kept that for you. We do require you to register your phone number. And so there is a whole entire process, and that was a little bit of a pain point for us on getting that.
A little. That was probably one of our biggest challenges of the year, is having this dropped on us, unexpectedly. And then it was the government work. So the rules changed as
Changing the
we were
rules is
building
hard.
it. So as we're trying to follow all the rules and get this figured out for our members, they kept changing the rules. And so some of it's affected everyone on this call probably, because you've all had to go jump through these hoops with us. We've tried to make it as easy as possible, and we continue to keep on working with them to get it better and better. So some people just breezed right through, and other people got caught up in this system of, hey, you're going to have to resubmit this application to continue to be texting, and it didn't make sense because they were passing people with the exact same reasons that they were failing people, so nothing added up, and we're still dealing with a lot of issues, but I think we've made it through better than a lot of companies, and we're excited that we're finally able to kind of start putting that in our rearview mirror and move forward with some of the things that we had to put on hold as well.
Yeah, I mean, we worked hard on we jumped through a lot of those hoops for you guys, so you didn't have to. A lot of the things were changing really dynamically. It was like one day things were, one way, and then the next day it was, completely different. And so it was a little bit of a struggle, but we're making through the other side. So, but the good news is that we didn't take that feature and that functionality away from you, that registration process, it just is a process that we have to take. They, with all of the marketing scams that are happening through texting and whatnot, the government wanted to regulate and be able to see who's sending out messages, what messages they're sending out, and then who's a responsible entity for those messages. So they wanted to be able to hold people accountable if they're making any kind of scams or whatnot. So it is done for the consumer's protection, and so it's something that we have to abide by. So that is something that we just had to follow up with and do.
Everything else we're going to go over is more positive and more the fun stuff that we wanted to add on, I think.
Yes. Yes.
It was a benefit.
It was. So let me see. Let me go back to my screen share here. The next thing this was one of my favorite things, because this was a request from all of you, but as well as from me. I was like, can we get this done? Like, this is something that I need too, because we use Wise Agent here internally to run our business. And so checklist triggers has been a thing for a really long time that we've been hearing about, and people have been wanting that, and that was released earlier this year. And I know it's simplified my life. So I can only imagine what it's done for you all as well, simplifying your life. These triggers are now, it's all trigger based on your templates. So if you guys aren't familiar with our checklists and how those work, our checklists are all based on a template. Basically, I mean, a lot of things that you all do is kind of repetitive, right? When you sell a single family home, you have to do the same, 575 steps, right? But some of those steps have, well, so once this happens, I also want to, I want to trigger my transaction coordinator to start this, workflow or this process, or I want to order the lockbox and I just want to send an email to my assistant to go set up that lockbox or the sign or whatever it is. So a lot of these things are what you're able to do now. And so you can come in here and say, I want to, just add a trigger where I want to send an email to my team saying, I want to send an alert to my team saying, do this thing upon completion. Once it's done, I want you to do whatever. And so I can send them an email or a text alerting them of this. I can, include who it is that they're doing it for. So the contact on the checklist. I can set up, maybe it's maybe upon completion of a transaction, right? Once the whole entire transaction has closed, maybe one of your tasks is, whatever it is, like after the closing date or after close of escrow. Upon that completion, maybe you want to set up your contacts, your clients on a drip campaign. So you can put them now on a post-close drip campaign. So I don't know if I have one in here. So I can put them on a home sale anniversary follow-up or whatever it is. So now I can just automatically do that. I think this is one thing, especially on the post-close transaction, just because you have completed a transaction doesn't mean that you never talk to these people ever again. You should be reaching out to them. So putting them on a drip campaign would be after the transaction is done is a great way of doing that. So
Maybe show them a quick checklist and just to be clear, the way these triggers work is that after you put the little work in up front and you pre-think out on every single step of this transaction or this checklist that I've pre-set up, when I check something off as completed, do I just want it to check off as completed and put a date stamp that it's always done? Or now when I check that off, do I want something to happen automatically that I don't have to do over and over again? And I think one of the biggest things for this one, you guys, is the number one complaint that for 20 years now from sellers is that they don't get enough communication from their realtor. They feel like, hey, they took the listing and then I never heard from them again. And in reality, you guys are doing so many of these little step-by-step every time you have a listing. There's all these steps and things that are almost just automatic to you that aren't a big deal to go put a sign up in the front yard or to put the lockbox on. But if you put a trigger behind that and you say every time I put the sign up in the front yard, it's going to send this well thought out email to my client, let them know, hey, I stopped by today and we put this sign up. We use these colors because it attracts attention. And this is one more thing that we're doing to market your house. And then tomorrow we're going to be stopping by and adding a lockbox. And then they get an email or a text tomorrow, saying, hey, we put the lockbox on and here's the value of that. Now, instead, and these are things that you wouldn't have had time to even reach out and tell them, and they're not a big deal to you maybe, but now you can add each of these in as a new marketing touch that's automated. Every time you have a listing, you check that box off that you added a lockbox and it sends out another touch, and hopefully that'll help contradict or counter to the seller's feelings of not having you communicate enough. And so that's one of the things I think that's a real big plus on taking time to set these triggers up. And you just put the time in once at the front and then it's done for the rest of your career. Even now, these will take off,
Yeah. And I think, and so one of the things that we did, is with the content library that was done before the triggers was the content library was done, like kind of redone. I think this was called letters, months ago. And the purpose of redoing it was to prepare for these triggers. So it's to have all of your content here in this library of content that you can reuse and be able to, write a well written out email one time. it doesn't matter if like if you're going through a transaction with Brandon and, listing his home, and you send him all the steps and all the things in that email, and then you list my home, and I get that same type of email from Brandon, you just address it to me and put my address instead of his address. It doesn't matter. Like we're not going to say like, oh, did your email read, even if we know each other, we're not going to compare what the email was, what it said exactly. And even if we did, it's going to be so well written and thorough that it's just going to feel like they know what they're doing. Like my realtor knows this whole entire process inside and out. And so reusing your content is something that you should be doing. And so that's why we called it this content of library. It really should be, in order to make your life easier, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I definitely think that you should be going in here and like editing things as needed, as things evolve and things change and whatnot. But really there should be, you have this already done here, and then you use that in order to send out your message out to your buyers and sellers and to your database, of people. So that's a big thing.
Yes, it's big, and there's a lot of videos and help systems on everything we're showing you today. I know we're gonna start going through these fast as we get shorter on time, but just know that if you type in triggers under our blog, you can watch a video detailed about it and how to set it up, and we've got help tools and everything for everything we're showing you today.
Yeah, absolutely. So another thing kind of along the lines of the content library was adding a section from within the sending of a text message out. So now I can send, if I want to send a text message and I want to say, I want to just write this message out about, whatever this open house was, or whatever whatever that text message I've already pre-written and pre-designed. I can just select it from my specific library here and send that out to everybody. So again, I don't have to type it out ad hoc. I don't have to just on the fly just type out that message. So it's something I can use from previously written content. So that was big. I know our friend Marky Lemons is huge on reusing content and repurposing it. So this is something that really you all should be utilizing too. It'll help you save a lot of time and money and effort.
And you can record those videos once for the text or the email, and then if it's uncomfortable, just get one good video that, hey, I stopped by, and if you want to attach that, then that'll go out to all of your clients. If you do it kind of generic enough where you can send it to all the clients. We have a lot of different ways to send video via text or email.
Yeah. The other, another big request was the ability. So we've always had the ability to share leads with people, what we call a part of your outside team. So like I have my own Wise Agent account. Brandon has his own Wise Agent account. I could share, contacts. So I can come in here and say, go ahead and share this Michael Phelps to, Izzy or Carol, and I can, have my notes shared across, and I can track these leads and whatnot. And as soon as I share this, and if Carol goes in and accepts that lead, and is working that lead, I'll be able to see all of Carol's notes and whatnot, right? So that's been a thing for, I don't know, forever and a day, right? For a really long time. What we added recently was the ability to revoke access. So now let's say, Carol is no longer on my team, or she's no longer part of my brokerage, or whatever it was. I no longer want her to have access to this, and it doesn't matter if she's accepted it or not accepted it. I can go ahead and revoke access to Carol. So she will no longer have access to Michael Phelps. I will be able to revoke this, and now she doesn't have any access. And the same thing goes for if they've already accepted. So if, I shared Tony Robbins, Carol already has that person, I can come in here and say revoke access. I'm not going to do it because I got to show part of this on a demo. So, I'm going to keep my demo clean. So I can revoke access, and now Carol no longer has that in her database. It is something that, I still will have her notes and whatnot in my account, but she will not be able to see any of Tony Robbins' contact information. Okay. So
you can only revoke the leads that you've given them.
Yes, yes, you can only revoke anything that you've given. We did have, and I didn't see this on my list, Brandon. We do have the ability, because this is another one of my favorite features, is we also have the ability, I think this was done this year, right? The single sign-on. Ooh,
Single
maybe
sign-on,
Camilla,
yes, yeah, another big one.
maybe Camilla or Katerina can tell me if I'm wrong on this. I think this was part of this year. Gosh, I hope so. So now you've also have the ability. So if I'm, if Tracy is, maybe I'm, we're on the same team, maybe I'm, her coach or whatever the situation is, and I want to have, or maybe I'm her broker, I want to have access to her account. I can request access, so I can request login access, and then my, outside team member can give me permissions on what I have access to. And then with a single click, I can come in here and I can log into Tracy's account. So that's been a huge thing. I mean, this is great for, like I said, team leads, brokers, coaches, whatnot. So now I can see, and Tracy has given me permission, right? So I want to make sure that you guys understand this. So Tracy has given me permission to view her account. And so if I go to her contact list, I will only see the contacts that she has given me access to see. So if I don't have access to see somebody, then I won't. I won't have access to it. So if I, if I try to go to her commission report, see, she's not given me access to this, so I'm not able to see any of her, any of the things in here. So that was a huge release. And then I can just go back to my account now as Rachel Green. That was a pretty big release.
The thing we're looking at all the time, when usually anytime we do an upgrade or we edit something, we know there's people just don't like change, and we're definitely going to get some feedback until people get used to it. But one of the biggest changes we made that affected every single person this year was our navigation bar, and we were shocked that it was so needed, I guess, that we didn't get all. It was very, very few, only of people that were questioning why did we do it or anything. Most people just went right on almost without noticing, but it really is a lot more useful as we moved it from the top over here to the left side. And now when you scroll down the page, you still have the menu bar instead of having to scroll back up to the top and click things. So that was just a really good one that I think everyone appreciated, and we didn't get a lot of flack on that one.
Well, and I have to give a shout out to Burke, our graphic designer, because he came up with this concept. He did everything on his own, this wasn't part of our vision for 2023. And he was like, I got this done. I hope you guys are okay with it. And we saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And so he did this on his own, and kudos to him, because and we love that our team just kind of sees things that are needed and just goes for it. So this was a really well-received update as well. Let's see. So we did have a new integrated partner this year. So this one was a really exciting one. This is for any of you that are out there, and maybe you guys can do, I know there's on the bottom of your screen, you can do like raise your hand. So any of you doing recruiting out there, I'd love to see how many of you are doing that. This tool is built and designed for you all. So we have integrated with a company called Relitix. I see a lot of you raising your hands here. So Relitix is a company, it's a data company in the real estate industry that will help you kind of get a feel for the agents that are either in your office or in a particular area that you want to recruit, or you want to see what their move score is or whatnot. And this is live data, so I'm not going to do a search because that wouldn't be right to show people's live data here. And what will happen is you will be able to see their volume of transactions, the number of transactions, all sorts of different things in here. You do have to connect it to your MLS. There is an agreement with the MLS that you're associated with, and there might be an additional fee for that depending on your MLS. But this is a really great tool for recruiting, but also for retention. So if you're a broker or a team lead, this is something that, or you just like doing a lot of recruiting, or you're in charge of recruiting at your brokerage, this is a great tool for you. And the way that we've built this integration, Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that we were the first CRM to integrate with them, where basically when you run your search, you could just add them with a single click, add them to your contact list, and then put them on a drip campaign and start marketing to them. So that is been a really
Yeah, the first and only one in the real estate industry. There's a few of the other CRMs have their logo on their page saying they're integrated, but they are not. And we know why. This took a lot of time, and it's a really deep, well thought out integration. It carries over to the contact summary page when you pull in the realtors that you want to start recruiting, and then it even updates each of their pages as they have more progress in their business. It'll keep that updated. So really a great tool for any brokers recruiting and looking to build their offices out. Just kind of helps you narrow in on the perfect audience for what you want to do, so you're calling the right people and saving your time there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know Katerina just shared our blog about that. It includes a video, and so you can see some of the how it works in action on that. So that was a big one. And then I think it was this week, maybe part of last week and this week, we had in the last week and a half, we've had 4 releases. So one was the AI that we talked about. The other was I think Brandon, was this one of your favorites? I think I'm going to say that this is one of your favorites, is the status update. So now when you have the ability, so when you're looking at your contact summary page and you're looking at one of your contacts and you want to change their status and they're going from under contract to maybe closed, you can update their marketing right from here. So we'll prompt you like, do you want to update their marketing? And I took too long. So I can say, go ahead and remove them from, they're under contract. And now I want to put them in, gosh, I hope we have a post close. Okay, I don't have that one. So whatever, I can put this in a home sale anniversary follow-up. So I can add them to this to this current program. So this makes it really easy to be able to add people and remove people from their marketing programs at the time of you updating their status.
Just say more automation, saving you more time, making it easier for you to do things you guys know you should be doing. And so, yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites. And we're on the back end, we're writing new drip campaigns that go along that are named for each one of the statuses. And there's a lot of different status types you can use, but just to make it easier for you in the marketing campaign. So you can go grab a pre-written, pre-done drip campaign for each status, go and edit it so that you're happy with it. It sounds like it's coming from you, and link it to it. And now from now on, as you're going through your system and your organized system of the way you do it, as you move people from a new lead to a warm lead to a hot lead to a in a transaction, each time you move them, now you've got the right text and email drips or calls, whatever it is in your marketing campaign that you want to do, reaching out to them. And so they're not getting things about, hey, it was nice. I look forward to meeting you when you've been driving them around for the last month, or just like there should always be a difference from when you met someone at an open house versus if you bought a lead off of a portal. You're going to talk to them different. So take the time up front, create the right messaging in these emails and texts to put together in a campaign, so that when you do get busy in 2024, and now you're not stopping, having to think, okay, what do I send to the people that were at my open house yesterday? That's already done because you had that done before you even held the open house. And any leads that are coming in off of one of your portals where you buy leads, you've already got that done. So that's kind of the idea of the automation, is put the work in, create these drip campaigns for every status and every type of lead. And then throughout the year, when they come, you've already got it done, and you can just start sending it out. And then you can always refine and make things better and split test and see which one's working better, but get the first set done so you can get the process started and get the systems going.
Absolutely. All right. We got like 10 more minutes, Brandon, so
Oh,
we're gonna have to
gee,
talk faster here.
start going.
Okay, so then we also have made an update on our commission report. This was a big request, being able to have, splits on commissions and have broker fees and adding custom fees. So we've been able to give you that ability now. And so there's a whole bunch of new stuff added on our commission tracker on this. So this has been updated and redone. So this is really
Multiple times based on your feedback. This is probably the fourth update to
yeah,
this
yeah.
tool, maybe even
Well,
this year. So we just keep on making it better based on the suggestions. So
yeah,
if it's not doing something for you, let us know and we'll keep on
yeah.
working ways in.
Yeah, and so then one of the things that just got released actually yesterday afternoon was one of my favorite updates, and that is our activity on our contact summary. This is our contact activity, and this is going to show you kind of all of your notes and all of the activity, including your notes, on what has been happening with this particular contact of yours. So I can see like the outside team sharing. So I can say, I just want to see all outside team sharing. I can also come in here and say like, I just want to see just my notes. So I can see just all of my notes or any notes that were coming in from maybe one of my inside team members. So I can do all sorts of things of filtering. It really makes it very easy to see. So if I want to just see all of the emails and email reports that I've sent out, I can just with a single click just filter through and see that only. And then if I wanted to see, let me see if I can find one in here, like the marketing ones and so on and so forth. This has been a need. I mean, as my vision gets worse, right? We all get older, and I was just like, man, I was struggling to see things a little bit, just making it a little bit easier to see, a little bit easier on the eyes. And then also some added things that we had looked at and like, okay, well, you shouldn't be able to edit if something happened automatically. This is like a system type of a note. And so you're not able to edit that. You can still use our Evernote integration to post that over there, but that's not something that you can edit. You could edit your checklist dates and you can do edit your notes, no problem. But there's some things that are not and should not be editable. So that was this activity thing is one of my favorite releases because it makes it a little bit cleaner, easier on the eyes, and just easier to filter through. So I think that's kind of a big overview of what we've released in 2023. And because we're running out of time, I do want to talk a little bit about the 2024 stuff, and we might go a little over, Brandon. Hopefully that's okay with you. So what's to come in 2024? Just because I'm on this page, I wanted to say we are going to be going deeper into our and refining our features that we currently have. So even on the activity, there is more to come on this. So more refinement, more just being able to do a little bit more with what's happening on the activities. So you'll be able to see a little bit more on this side of things. On our commission report. This has a lot more coming to it that we're currently still working on. So, it will also include being able to share your commissions to outside team members. This has been a big request is, our brokers and our teams have been requesting this, like, okay, well, I want to see, if Brandon and I are on a team, I want to have that commission for myself on here. But if Brandon is, let's say, my team lead or my broker, and he's getting I have a split with him, he wants to see that on his commission side as well, because he's making some off of me as well. And so being able to see that without having, to do dual entry and like I put it on my side, he puts it on his side, and how's all this going to happen? So that's going to be worked out, and that's going to also be added into the functionality of this in the very near future. So that's coming soon. What else is coming soon? More on revamping things. So while Brandon was talking about, I think it was talking about the Relitix integration, I kind of went through and was showing people how to do a drip campaign. So everything about our drip campaign is going to be revamped. And so I'm really excited about this because this is one of our most used features. And like, we hear you, we see you, we use it ourselves. And so we know, and we're going to be working on it. So, this is going to be something that I think you guys are all going to be happy with when this gets revamped and redone. There's going to be a few more things in here, and you can see already there's been a little bit of improvement on this. Like now it'll tell you the number of events and what the occurrence is in between them. So you can see some of that. So some of the, this is the description of each of these. So then it's not just the name, but then even more filtering. So now if I want to see maybe just an email campaign, instead of it saying like 4-touch post close email, I could just search for emails or for texts. So that's going to be coming soon. More on even setting off triggers for marketing events to happen. So when maybe somebody completes an event or a whole program, then they get started on something different, or maybe something else happens. So triggers will happen on that as well. What else, Brandon, do you want to give a sneak peek on?
I think we got to save some things for the next podcast.
We certainly do. We certainly do. I think one of them will also include, we're definitely going to be integrating with more of the MLSs and more of your MLSs. That's something that we started also in 2023. We really didn't talk about MLSs too much on this, but integrating with more of those for you as well, to bring in your listings, to be able to market them a lot easier and get some of that traction for you to get to that closing table will also be happening in 2024. So
yeah, that was a big add-on this year, is we started adding on MLSs, and the ones that we have on now have been greatly appreciated, and we hear you. So that's another thing. And same thing with the associations. I think we're always busy building relationships with the associations as well, and we've got several of those on that people are really enjoying the benefits that they're bringing.
Yeah. So Alfonso, I hope we didn't, we didn't overwhelm you too much, but thank you for that comment. So, there was a lot that was done in 2023. So like I showed you guys earlier, go to that the bottom left-hand side of your dashboard, and you'll be able to see all of those updates and all of those releases. Join us in our Facebook community, reach out to our support staff. We're here to help you in all of the things that you guys do, and I'm here to support you in your business. So your success is our number 1 priority. So
yeah, keep the suggestions coming. That's how we know what to work on, and we've got a lot of new things coming. We didn't get we didn't hit all of our goals in 2023 because of some of the distractions we got caught up on. But we're hard at work on getting those things done. I think for 2024 for everyone, we just need to really work on forging really deep relationships in this world where it's all about algorithms now. It just, that human touch is even needed that much more. So get your business running in systems and organized so that you can spend time working on building real, genuine connections with your clients.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lauren, you could send your suggestions to our support staff if you want to send those in to help@wiseagent.com. They're happy to take those suggestions and pass it along to our team here, and we go through all of those and kind of discuss those as they come up. And if you guys are on this podcast and a replay or just watching it right now, and you're like, gosh, this is amazing, and I didn't know all the stuff that Wise Agent can do, and you wanted to try it out for yourself, we do offer a 14-day free trial. So go to wiseagent.com. I will let you guys know on one little secret, I guess, not so much secret, but prices are going up on January 1st. So we have always historically from like day 1 locked people in, grandfathered people in. So if you guys create your account before the 1st of the year, the 1st of 2024, then we will lock you in the 2023 pricing. So please go ahead and do that. So right now the prices are at $32 a month for you. So those will be going up as of January 1st. So
yeah, hopefully you've got an account, but if you don't, get on it and just know we never lock you into an agreement still 20 years later. We don't do a lot of the things like agreements on that side, but on the other side, we will grandfather you in and make sure we take care of you. So yeah, get your account registered. We're excited. It's going to be exciting 2024. A lot of change coming,
Yeah.
yeah, it's,
We're,
I think we're excited to get it going.
yeah, we're excited. 2024, I hope is going to be a great year for all of us. We wish you all the best in the new year. Much success and health and happiness to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much, Brandon, for joining today,
Hey,
and
thanks for having
sharing,
me.
yeah,
Happy
and
New Year, you guys. We'll see you.
sharing all your insights. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Take care.